Hello, you are watching News 9 Digital's Facebook Live with me, Amrita, and as we all know, schools and pre-university colleges in Karnataka, that is schools from 9th standard to 12th grade, are set to reopen from Monday itself. So what are the preparations that have been put into place, and how many students can in fact go to schools given that the pandemic and the threat of the pandemic still remains? So the schools from classes 9 to 12th are reopening in a phased manner. It's not completely reopening, and regular classes for that matter will not be conducted, but students who have their parents' consent, who want to get their doubts cleared, who want to seek some sort of guidance from their teachers can now attend schools. But there are several questions that remain unanswered. To speak up on the same, we have Mr. Shashi Kumar on the phone line with us. Mr. Shashi Kumar, thank you for speaking to us.
Welcome.
Sir, my first question to you is, what are the sort of precautions that are being taken at schools to ensure that the students remain safe?
Yes, most of the schools are ready with their minimum requirements such as thermometer, oximeter, sanitization. Some have installed tunnels, some they have kept sanitization machines, and they are already disinfecting the entire school building, classroom. And this is one part of standard operating procedure.
Yes.
But unfortunately, Government of Karnataka still they have not released any guidelines of what is the safety measures connected with central government's advisory, health department advisory.
Okay.
The second important thing is, yes, the ratio as per central ministry, it is like 50% of the student has to be called, 50% of the staff has to be called, and see that the students are not given classes, but their confusions or whatever requirement can be given advice. As an advice, they can be called to the school with the consent letter. That is, parent has to accept that they are willing to send to the school and have teachers and students interacted so that they can clarify their doubts and with respect to academic.
Okay, so Mr. Shashi Kumar, all of the students who are willing to go to schools, they all have to have the parental consent, or are the students, who need to attend schools are being chosen by the schools themselves who need to further seek parental consent? How does it work?
And then it remains like this. Every student who has to come to the school has to get the consent letter.
Okay.
That is one part. Once if they bring the letter and it is endorsed, then later on they can keep coming to the schools whenever there is a call from either the school, or if the school starts regularly, both need the same consent letter.
Yes.
That is not a dispute in getting only with one or the other.
Okay. So, sir, one more question, like you mentioned about the teacher-student ratio. When we speak about the number of students per the teachers, how will that work out?
See, rather than I define teachers-student ratio, I would like to say that is depending on the infrastructure availability.
Yes.
Because entire Karnataka, if we speak, there are various type of infrastructure that one you have, because there are school classrooms with smaller rooms, there are big rooms, and it all depends on how many children and what type of area they have. Based on that, the students can be called so that they maintain a minimum physical distance as per the recommendation.
Okay. So also, sir, one more question about the transport. So will students and parents have to arrange their own private transport, or are schools continuing with the school transport?
No, as of now, the situation is not favorable to provide transportation because there are various constraints.
Yes.
And I would like to again highlight, because it is only 9th and 10th, there will be very few students who take up school transportation in this level. So naturally, the transportation, I don't think so most schools will be running, because it needs huge financial requirement. If you are running for even 5 students or 30 students, the cost remains same.
Yes.
So naturally, more are not willing to operate the school transportation as of now due to the pandemic situation and also the ratio and financial requirements.
All right. And my last question to you, sir, is whether the online classes will continue as per schedule, or will there be changes in it, because the teachers will be busy being at school and conducting physical classes, and the students, half of them, won't be at home.
Definitely, there is one alternative is that change of timings. Because even though the teacher is physically in the school,
Yes.
they have several periods, and all the 6 periods may not take place in state board schools in a day
Okay.
for present situation. So naturally, we may divide that into two sessions, one in school and the others who are not able to attend, they may get at least an hour of classes online in the different time, that is afternoon sessions.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Shashi Kumar. Now, that was the General Secretary of Associated Management of English Medium Schools right here in Karnataka, answering some of the questions with regards to schools which will be reopening in Karnataka, specifically from Monday onward. So, there is still a little bit of vagueness which surrounds how exactly the entire day will span out with the schools reopening. There will be no regular classes, but yes, the academic courses need to continue. So there is not much clarity on how the online classes will be conducted. Furthermore, when teachers get busy with their physical classes as well, and how the schools first and foremost face this surmountable problem of maintaining all the hygienic and sanitization process to ensure that the students remain safe. Now, in other parts of India, schools are opening up on different time periods. In Delhi, there's a different date and time when they will be opening up, but that's how it spans out right here in Karnataka. Furthermore, you can leave your queries in the comment section down below, and also tell us about what you think of the schools reopening amidst a pandemic. What are the problems students and parents might face during this time? And also like, share and subscribe to News 9 Digital. Thank you for watching.